of July in 2021. The grips of the COVID pandemic had finally subsided and people were getting out and traveling again. For us, that meant a trip to the Big Island. We landed in Kona that evening after a long day of travel and were greeted by the most beautiful sunset. Tired from a day of travel, we spent that evening eating out in front of the sparkling horizon. The next day, we awoke to clear skies and the excitement of a long-awaited first day of vacation.
We are leaving the resort and heading south. We're going to try and check out Volcanoes National Park and maybe make a loop all the way around to Hilo today. We'll see how far we go. It's about 5.5, 6 hours of driving total, so wish us luck.
We probably should have known better than to try to cover such a large loop on the Big Island, but we couldn't contain our anticipation for getting back on the road. Our first stop on our trip was Punalu'u Beach, a black sand beach along the southern coast of the island. Here, you'll not only find the beautiful black sand famous to Hawaii, but also green sea turtles basking out in the Hawaiian sun. Soon we were back in our car and heading east towards one of the most popular attractions on the Big Island, Volcanoes National Park. Unfortunately, the upper portion of the park was overcrowded, so we had to move on to the Chain of Craters Road. The Chain of Craters Road was built in 1928 and winds 19 miles down from Kilauea to the shoreline, passing craters, vents, and old lava flows along the way. At the end of the Chain of Craters Road lies dramatic black volcanic cliffs that drop over 90 feet down into the Pacific Ocean. Just a short walk from the road's end is a viewing point to see the cliffs and the unique Hilo Sea Arch. Continuing on in our loop brought us to good old rainy Hilo, where we found the Kaumana Caves. These caves are unassuming from the outside, but once below, these lava tubes go on for miles. Because of its understated entrance, the caves aren't very popular and provide a more authentic way to experience lava tubing. As we came back out into the light, the sky began to fall again, and we weren't the only ones running for cover.
Little situation here. Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
It was time to get out of the rain and back into the sun. We spent that evening back in town at Kona, walking Ali'i Highway and grabbing a bite to eat near the water.
Okay, you ready? Let's go.
The next morning, we decided to be more realistic with our ambitions. After stretching ourselves thin the day before, the day's plan was simplified to an out and back trip from the hotel to South Point, with several stops at points of interest along the way. Not far from Kona lies Pu'uhonua National Historic Park. This park was originally used by the Hawaiians as a place of refuge for those who broke Hawaiian law. This park includes different hale, or Hawaiian homes, including the Hale o Keawe, a temple constructed at the site which served as a burial grounds for the Hawaiian nobility for centuries. Peaceful shores of Pu'uhonua, we made a quick stop off at an oddity of the Kona area, the Painted Church of St. Benedict. This church was constructed in 1902 by Belgian priest Father Velga, who decorated the interior of the church with colorful frescoes. Sticking to our religiously themed morning, we decided to sample the local coffee scene at Sacred Grounds, a Kona coffee house and artistry shop run out of a repurposed church. Then off to our final destination, South Point. Aptly named, South Point marks the southernmost point not only in Hawaii, but in all the 50 U.S. states. The region is bordered by rocky cliffs that lead off into endlessly deep blue waters, making for quite a sight.